Feeling is that because even in Uganda, the main challenger, Bobi Wine, has actually experienced a lot of opposition from the security agencies. He's been blocked on several occasions. We've had your party leader complain about the same here in Kenya. How different is it? Again, the question I ask, how different is Kenya?
That's why I said, Fred, we have to be concerned and acutely aware of the setbacks that are going to be ahead. Remember, it was last year Tanzania, it's this year Uganda, it's next year Kenya. We have to be actually aware that there are some issues replicating, seeing them in Tanzania, seeing them in Uganda, and which we can see some sense of. And that's why I've always said, these three leaders, they are leading from the same book, a script. And of course, Kenya, the fact that this government came the other day, they have been leading a lot of movies, you know, watching a lot of movies from Uganda and Tanzania. And of course, importing a lot of bad manners. So what we are saying, you can see the pattern. Bobi Wine continues very freely last year. Then towards the elections, the same thing used to happen with the BCJ. Around 2 weeks, 3 weeks, being arrested, you know, all this confusion and all that. Now, this is what we are saying. I want to warn the people who think that they are going to borrow. They should ape us. You know, we should be asking other African countries to ape Kenya, not the other way around. We cannot. We are a huge democracy. We cannot, Fred, continue being looking at the tactics being used by our neighbors to come and copy them here. And so, please, we were being warned. I remember people called me aside in a court and told me, you know, Peter, you are pushing for President Ruto to be elected, and his intentions are not good. He may end up like Museveni. Those are the words we were being told. Categorically. And he has no intention of letting go power. But we said, look here, we cannot continue living in fear. We are going to do what we must do. And that's why I want to be very clear. From where I sit, two things very quickly. One, I'm urging this state to know Kenyans are not Ugandans. They are not Tanzanian. With respect to them, Kenyans will rise to the occasion. You ask a question about lethargy. We are telling our people here to know that we are the leaders, so we cannot be threatened, or you know, feel that we are being learning the bad things, and so we get fear in Kenya here. So what are we going to do, Fred? I like actions. I like solutions. So I can tell you this, Fred. You see these tear gases in churches, you know, or stopping people at Kagio with some policemen shooting at vehicles. It will end in August. We are going to persist. Let me tell you what is going to happen. By August, we want to make sure this government knows it's going home. Very early. The problem is you are not sure. You go all the way to the 2 weeks or a month before elections. We want to play psychological and emotional battle very badly to ensure by August, you will not see the people themselves will go and say, police, come and shoot us. Forget about Rigathi Gachagua. That's what is going to happen. Because we are the people who put you to power. You cannot suddenly realize you have tear gas, NIS, military, everything else, and it's us who put you to power. You'll see the power of the vote in this country. How is it going to happen? We are telling them, it's okay. You can continue doing all these harassments. Kenyans are going to come and say, wait a minute now, what are you doing here? Please, right now, we are aware what is happening now. They want police to begin now infiltrating the goons. To begin attacking. But Fred, I want to say this again. We must give our people hope. That's why we are on this show. Right. Okay. To tell people, because you're asking a good question, what does Uganda and Tanzania implications have on Kenya? Please, people of Kenya, you are the most important and powerful asset we have in this country. Going to the next year, Fred. So we are telling our people, let's be alert. You asked about this harassment by police. We are not going to allow it. We are asking our people to literally come and make sure all the rallies by opposition leaders happen. And finally, we are going to court, Fred. We are going to court. Again, I like our judiciary. We go to court to ask the judiciary to allow the election results as announced in the constituencies for the presidential will be final.
All right, and we shall not revisit that issue about voting in Kenya. I want us to focus on that issue of how security agencies are being used or misused to handle politics locally. Just briefly, then we finish that debate.
I would want to address the kind of hypocrisy that comes out of Dr. Mbaye's sentiments.
Can he address himself?
These are the kind
point that you have asked.
These are the kind of things that Kenyans are supposed to observe. Because what usually happens is that people feel comfortable when they are on one side. And then when they move to the other side, they bring another story altogether. The same arrangement that Dr. Mbaye seems to defend is the same that was in charge of the operations against Azimio protesters while they were in government. Very vicious. Even the attack on Uhuru Kenyatta's farm was based on such kind of operations that are now on the side of the opposition. So when they see these things happening...
Does it make it right?
It is not right. It is not right. But the circumstances are very different.
So you do
For
agree,
example...
You do agree that it is...
the difference is that for them, like where the tear gas is being involved, is where people are going to do political rallies to cause chaos themselves. So the police have to intervene to create order. So when the police are intervening to restore order, that does not become illegal or unfair. So these are double standards that Dr. Mbayo wants to advance with his team. And again, they are also trying to push the narrative that they are likely to win. How can you be winning when you are losing supporters each and every day?
All right.
Key allies are appearing each and every day.
It is about security agencies and how they're being used or misused during this electioneering period. Do you agree? Because now, simply because you're on the side of government, do you have to support this kind of treatment?
No. I mean, see, we in this country, we have very serious political bad manners. That when someone is holding power, they can misuse that power, including they can arrest, they can shoot, they can maim, they can abduct, and all the manner of things that we have seen happen in the past. At times, when people are in government, they support anything by that government. See no evil, hear no evil. When they get out of government, they start seeing the wrongs in the same government that they were serving. And a very good example is the DCP party leader and his lieutenants. And that is a fact. Because I remember one time when we were having our Maandamano as Azimio, they came out, the people in DCP right now, led by Rigathi Gachagua, they said, you will never come out of the street again to protest. And he told that to His Excellency Raila Odinga the late, and may his soul rest in peace. And he was very clear. I looked at his face, and I trembled because I knew that coming from a deputy president that time, it spelled a lot of doom for us people who were on the street at that point. Right now, because they are on the receiving end, and I'm calling it the receiving end because they're in the opposition. That's the position we were in then, and we are still in the opposition. By the way, Freddie Demuli, these people found us in the opposition. They joined the opposition. They left government because they really left government.
They have actually
Nobody should say that Rigathi Gachagua was pushed out of government. The case was clear, and Dr. Mbayo knows. After they left government, because they are the ones who left, they joined the opposition that we had genuinely created, a genuine opposition, and we were discussing issues. They have disorganized the opposition. The opposition now is almost a one-man show who is just spitting bile, telling people this and that against the others. It is not helping us. And the problem with our politics, Fred, is because we have this, again, bad manners of people being in the same party, the same thing that happened between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. And when they disagree, one ships out, forms some formation, calls his buddies, then they reorganize and start selling all these things that they keep selling to us. At what point are we going to discuss issues? Right. Because that is where we should be that is what we should be. But remember, I will say this. The goons that we have seen on the streets